Hello, my beautiful baddies. Welcome back to yet another episode of Your Inner Baddie Speaking. Today's episode, we're back to the love letter collection, and I think this is a really important topic to cover. It's something that I think was a struggle for me throughout my journey, but definitely at the beginning of my journey. Loving your body can be hard. I think as a society, we all deal with it. I feel like we all have insecurities about our bodies. We all nitpick at our bodies. We all find something that we don't like, and whether that's something that's been imposed on us because of the standards that we feel like we're supposed to meet, or if it's just something that somebody else has pointed out that now you feel uncomfortable about, which people should not be pointing out anything negatively about your body, and that's just me. Unless they're concerned about your health, that's a different story. If they're like, hey, it looks like you're not doing well, a whole different story. But we all know that, like, we look at magazines, we look at social media, we look at, so much content around us that's like throwing in our faces that we're supposed to be, in good shape, we're supposed to be skinny, we're supposed to, well, for women, skinny, like, we're supposed to be, like, looking young forever, like, God forbid anybody age. And I think a lot of this and a lot of what I'll speak to is definitely from a woman's perspective, and I think a lot of women particularly deal a lot with loving their body and loving their physical image because it's just so drilled in us that we're supposed to be like one specific type, and if you stray from that, you're not beautiful, you're not. It even like goes so far as, like, I will say that the beauty standard that is set for women is so ingrained in us and so set that, like, it's supposed to tie to like your character and like your success. Like, if you're not beautiful, you're not a good person, or like if you're not beautiful, like you're not good enough, or if you're not beautiful, you're never going to succeed, you're not going to get that job, you're not going to be in front of people, you're not going to be the star of the show. Like, it is so heavily pushed, this narrative that, like, if you aren't a typical beauty standard, then you are not going to do what you want to do in life, you are not going to feel how you want to feel in life, and basically, if society deems you not the beauty standard, then like you're fucked. That's how I feel that a lot of us were raised. That's definitely how I feel like I was raised. I remember looking at magazines, and this is before social media. Oh God, I've just aged myself. But like looking around at the world and like TV and all of that, and everything that you see is, at least when I grew up, it wasn't even like brunettes were even like, it was like you're supposed to be straight haired, blonde, skinny, big boobs, no ass, you're supposed to be tan, you're supposed to have great teeth, you're supposed to have a beautiful smile, and like all of these things, I represented like maybe one of them as a kid. Like, curly hair wasn't socially acceptable. I had no idea how to do my hair because nobody who was around knew how to do their hair. And I grew up in a town called Plainville, all right? So cut me some slack, all right? We did have diversity, I will say, in my high school, and that's probably because we brought over kids from Hartford, from a city that like actually had some more representation, and thank God for that. But like, there was no one that looked like me. And I remember even specifically like growing up with body standards too, like I'll be honest, like, I had an ass, I didn't have any like boobs, like I wasn't built like that. My body is very pear-shaped. And I remember wanting to hide it. Like, I didn't like the way that clothes fit on me going shopping with my friends. It was like noticeably different that like I didn't look like them, and I also didn't look like this beauty standard that I was seeing. And so therefore, if you feel different, God forbid, you feel like a fucking outcast. You feel like you're not beautiful. You feel like you're not going to be successful. You feel like you're shunned. You feel like you're the black sheep. And so that's just like a taste of my experience as a kid. And I'm sure growing up, like, we've all dealt with shit. Like, we've all dealt with, you know, people picking on our looks or picking at ourselves on our looks. I mean, God, back when I had like zero problems, and I won't say that I have problems with my body, but like back when I really had nothing to complain about, because, you know, you get older and you're like, ugh, I can't even look at a donut, or like, God forbid, I like drink on the weekend or something, and it's like, everything's thrown off, like your whole body's thrown off, both mentally and physically. But I would say, like, even when I was a kid, when I feel like, you know, I was relatively good physically, I guess, even though I wasn't the standard, like, now that I look back on what my body was, I would still pick at it, like, to the point where, and this is disgusting, but like, even my dad in high school, and I think, like, obviously people project, and he obviously had some issues with his body, but like, he would grab my midsection and my stomach, and he'd be like, looks like you need to work out. Mind you, I was doing track 5 days a fucking week, and I had abs. All right, I haven't seen abs like that since high school. All right, and those are the things that you're up against, like people constantly picking at you and looking at you. And as women, we're so objectified. I mean, you're not going to get a man, you're not going to get the job, you're not going to get anything in life, pretty much. Like, you're going to be this ugly spinster with cats. And honestly, like, I don't know what a spinster, maybe I should look up the full definition of spinster, but doesn't seem like it's that bad in retrospect. I feel like they made it out to be worse than it was. And yeah, I got a cat, and you know, honestly, I don't mind my life, like, at all. Kind of love it. So, like, goes to show them. But all that to say that, like, growing up, I feel like kids and, God, just people in general and women, we are like always scrutinizing our bodies, and it's so hard to just love yourself. And so this love letter collection episode is really about, like, how do you love your body? I think you should love your body. I think I should have loved my body a hell of a lot more than I have over the years. And, you know, I think I definitely got to a place where I was really confident with what I looked like and who I was, even though, like, if I was going on vacation, like, I remember, I think I was like 23, 24 maybe, and I was going on a girls' trip to Miami, and I shit you not, like, I got up every morning at 5 a.m. this was back when you had to go in the office 5 days. I would get up and I would work out before work, and I would not miss a day. I wouldn't miss a weekend if I was building up to a trip. Like, that's unhealthy behavior, because fuck it, I am who I am. I'm gonna look like what I'm gonna look like, and I'm gonna enjoy myself. We as people shouldn't be like, oh, I need to change myself for vacation just so I feel good. Like, yeah, sure, if you're starting to like overeat, it's the holidays, you've been eating probably more dessert than you would have liked, or, you know what, honestly, I'm gonna rephrase that. You're eating as much dessert as you want to, and then you're realizing, like, maybe that was too much in one, like, you know, week span. Although I'm a sweet treat every night kind of girl, so I'm a little fucked on that one. But, like, if you're feeling uncomfortable in your body and you're like, man, I've really been, like, treating it like shit, or I've been stressed, and therefore, like, I'm not having home-cooked meals, and I'm eating, you know, my feelings a lot more, sure. Like, tend to what your body needs to get back to whatever makes you feel good. But what I mean is that your normal, whatever that looks like, should feel good to you. You should feel proud about it. Like, our bodies do so much for us. Our bodies wake us up in the morning. Our bodies digest our food. Like, our bodies fight off colds. Our bodies, like, they do so much. They walk for us. They pick things up. Like, I know I sound silly right now going through like what a body can do, but if you think about it, like, we objectify it and we ridicule it so much, yet it is so functional for us. Every workout you have, I don't give a shit if you feel good or not, your body's doing that. Your body's doing that. It's working for you. It's active for you. It's doing good things for you. And I think that we need to recognize that, like, bodies are not just there for us to look at and just tear down. We should love them because they function for us. They do what we need to. They breathe for us. They hear for us. They see for us. They do so much for us. And I love my body simply for it doing that. And the more and more I get away from, like, I need to look a specific way and more of what my body does for me, I appreciate it so much more. And I think maybe that's just like a reframe that some of us need to do. And of course, that's still hard. Like, we live in a social media world where, like, you're constantly seeing other people's, you know, fitness routines, or you're seeing just people who, you know, there's just some people who have metabolisms where, like, God, they could eat like, I will say I'm envious of them. Like, they could eat like the entire McDonald's menu in a sitting and, like, it's not gonna touch their body. And you know what? Good for them. But that's not me. So, like, I can't do that. So I have to watch those sort of things. But, like, everyone is different, and I think there's definitely a turn in society where I feel like we are looking at people, their differences, as being beautiful rather than their differences being something that's wrong about them. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, we're doing this all the time. I'm just saying that we're making some strides. And I think that's so wonderful because ultimately, I believe that it's what you would consider your flaws or your differences, that is actually the thing that makes you the most beautiful. I'll tell you, like, I get compliments on my smile, right? I love to smile. I sometimes don't always see it as, like, my best asset. Like, I think I have a very gummy smile, but fuck it. Like, I'm happy and I'm not afraid to, like, let it shine and let it, you know, let it just spread across my face, right? But for, like, a smile, mine's different. And every time I point it out to somebody, they're like, oh my God. I mean, now that you say that, I can see that, but I didn't even notice that. I just thought your smile was gorgeous. And I'll tell you what it is. The two front teeth, the ones that are next to it. So the teeth that are supposed to be right next to your front teeth, they're flat teeth. And then right next to those, I call them your vampire teeth because they're kind of pointy. Well, the ones that are next to your front teeth, those flat ones, when they grew in as a child, they grew out. Yeah, so that was fun. And then when I had to get them pulled, because I had to get 9 baby teeth removed because they just wouldn't leave my mouth. Apparently, I don't like change. But when I got those extracted, they never grew in as adult teeth. So, like, I just had gaps on the side of my front teeth. And because I have a small mouth and, like, I got braces and all of that, they just, like, pushed my teeth forward. So technically I have my vampire teeth right next to my 2 front teeth. And the next time you see me, or the next time you see a picture of me, check it out because you will notice. And that's something that's different. like, I've got my vampire teeth, I got my sharp ass teeth. They said that they could file them down. I said, you know what, no. Also because well, my parents weren't paying for that, let's be honest. So superficial, they were not going to pay for that. We ain't got the money like that. But all that to say, that's something that's different about me. And my curly hair, I straightened that shit for so long, and when I finally embraced it, the compliments came fucking like flooding in. I mean, people love my hair, and when I wear it a different way, people are like, oh, I loved when you know, wore your hair curly, or like wore your hair like that, and oh, I love your hair. And like, that's shit I didn't even like think about when I was a kid. I hated my curls, which sucks because I straightened them so much and got like so many haircuts that weren't for curly hair, that like I thinned the shit out of my hair. And I used to have very voluminous hair from like roots to tip, and I hold on to one picture where I wore my hair curly at a wedding in California, and I think I was like 16, 17. I hold on to that picture like it's like it's a history book, because that is one of the few documentations, because I wouldn't wear my hair curly, that like it was so nice. But here I was assimilating to like what everybody else looked like, and there's nothing wrong if you have straight hair. I'm not saying that like, you know, I was looking the way I was trying to look was bad. It's just, it wasn't me. It wasn't what made me me. And then when I started to dress for my body, and I started to dress for a pear shape instead of like wearing things to like, okay, jeans skirts in the 90s, not made for women with an ass, okay? Because it becomes a belt, and God forbid you bend over, okay? Yeah, not good, especially not as a teenager. Just not made for me. But like, the second I started embracing all of my features and my tiny feet, my tiny hands, and my curly hair, and my larger thighs and like bottom, like, it was a game changer, because those are the things that ultimately make you beautiful. So the next time you look in the mirror, remind yourself that what you're seeing, the things that you probably look at and are like, oh, I wish this was different, somebody probably wants that. Somebody probably looks at you and is like, man, she's so beautiful because of her nose. She's so beautiful because of her hair. She's so beautiful because this, that, and the other thing. Or you're beautiful because of this, that, and the other thing. Like, you have, I just wish we could see each other like others see us, because it really is like, when we're having, like, I swear to God, when I'm having a bad self-image day and I say that shit in front of a friend and I'm like, man, I'm just like, it's just not it today. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you shitting me right now? Because like, you are gorgeous. And it's just sometimes we can't see it. And so this love letter I wrote to myself because I was like struggling, and I was just having body image issues, especially after the divorce. I mean, I've talked about it on these episodes, but if you haven't heard that portion of it, basically during my marriage, the person I was with just like berated my image, and it just got to the point where I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel confident. I didn't want to look at myself in a mirror. I didn't want to put effort into myself because I thought I wasn't even worth putting effort into. And that is a part of why my confidence was so terrible, is because my body image was so horrendous. And the person that's supposed to love me for the rest of my life, one, didn't, but two, like, how could they say that about, like, you believe that because someone you love and someone who's supposed to love you is tearing you down? Like, what the fuck is that? It's not okay. So if you have a man in your life, or you have somebody in your life that is doing that to you, that's not it. Get out. But anyways, in the meantime, here's the love letter I wrote to myself about my body. I love my body. It wakes me up on time, mostly. nourishes me, allows me to move around this crazy life, functions just for me. Every healthy piece of my body is always working for me. They say the universe is always in your favor, and when I think about my body when it's healthy, it's always working in my favor. It's my body that allows me to go on long walks that I enjoy so much. It's my body that allows me to breathe in the air around me and fill my lungs. It's my body that allows me to feel the chill in the air or the warmth that makes little sweat beads drip down my body. It's my body that lets me speak my mind and laugh with friends and loved ones. It's my body that lights up with a smile when I come home and see my cat. And it's also my body that releases tension and cries tears to let out emotion. It's my body that carried me through hard times. It's my body that got me off the floor when I was crying. It's my body that woke me up every day when I didn't want to. It's my body that showed me some will to live when I didn't feel that. It's my body that helped me survive, and it's my body that I now nourish and love. I love my body for helping me move forward, even when I take a step or two back. I love my body for fighting for me. I love my body and what it represents. I love every part, every scar, and everything it does for me. It's beautiful to me, and its beauty works for me. And I'm so grateful to have this body of mine. And I won't lie, like, I think body image is a harder one when you're healing, like, to stick to, because, you know, I love my body. Like, I feel good in it, but there are definitely days where I'm like, ugh, I'm not feeling it. Or like maybe my clothes don't fit the same on a certain day, or maybe like, especially with women, and like stuff fluctuates throughout the month. And sometimes it sucks because it's like, I love my body and I don't want to feel negative about it, but sometimes I do. And when I do, I feel like I always go back to this love letter, because it just reminds me that my body is not just there for me to look at. It's certainly not there for others to just look at. Like, I love to say, because I think I'm beautiful, and I think we're all beautiful. We are all beautiful in our body, in our mind, in our soul, if we're doing the work and we're just, you're shining from within, and that displays on your outer character. And, when, I think I'm beautiful. I think everyone is beautiful. How could I judge that? How could I judge what it does for me? How can I not remember how it's functioning for me? How can I not remember what it's doing for me? How can I not remember when I'm so focused on the outer shell that like my body keeps me healthy? Or if I haven't been sick, that my body's doing that for me. Or, when I nourish it and it reflects, like, it's doing all of that for me. And your body is working for you too. And I think maybe the next time that you're feeling down about your body image, first of all, remember that it's a feeling, not a fact. That is something that that is like a mantra of mine, especially with body image. It's a feeling, not a fact. So if I feel some type of way, like sometimes I'm like, I'm a fucking whale. Like, actually, you'll appreciate this. I was texting a friend about how I like came back from a work trip, and like, we were indulging and we were drinking, and it's hard on work trips because you're eating out, and when they serve fucking muffins for breakfast, I'm like, this is not breakfast. This is gonna make me crash in about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna need something else. But anyways, everyone's different. But I was coming back and I was like, ugh, I'm just like not feeling it. She's like, what the fuck do you mean? And I sent her a picture because I was like, this is me. And you do like the exaggerated stomach or whatever. And she's like, are you kidding me? Like, you look so good. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, you know what? I went on this work trip as a Kit Kat. Picture a nice little skinny ass Kit Kat. And I love Kit Kats, by the way. And I was like, and I left feeling like a gummy bear, which I also love gummy bears. So and she started dying. And it's just like, sometimes you have to make fun of it. Like, I'm not a gummy bear. And honestly, if I was, like, gummy bears are desirable. So, like, I should be so lucky, right? But like, you gotta like make fun of it. Like, I knew it's a feeling, not a fact. So I might as well call myself a fucking gummy bear, because that's funny. That's funny. I'm not calling myself fat because I know I'm not fat. Or like, you know, when you're just looking at your body and you're thinking something, you're not that. You might think it, but I guarantee you, everyone else that's looking at you and everyone else who's in your life would beg to differ, and they would tell you 1,000 reasons why you should love that part of you. So I encourage you. I know this one is very hard and we get tripped up on a lot, and just don't compare yourself to others. Remind yourself that what makes you different makes you beautiful, and you are a beautiful person. And if you feel off, it's a feeling, not a fact. And maybe throw in some hilarious references so you like laugh that shit off. And remember, like, life is not that serious. Eat that donut. Do whatever you want. Go have that cocktail. You're not gonna regret that in 20 years from now. Like, come on now. Enjoy your life a little, and enjoy your body and how much it's doing for you. Love your body. We should all love it and be nicer to it. I'm a big proponent of we should be nicer to our body, because like, it's literally causing us to be alive, and we're like, I wish like this was different. Like, do we know what we sound like when we say that? Like, I say it, I get it. Like, I'm like, how ridiculous am I? My body's doing all this shit for me. So remember to love your body, be a little kinder to it. And yeah, love your body a little bit more. And with that, say it with me. I'm a fucking baddie. All right, love y'all till next time.